forward its manifesto to make Enugu the preferred destination for business, investment and living, the administration of Governor Peter Mbah in Enugu State is pursuing the development of 10,000 hectare smart city, known as the new Enugu City, which is said will rub shoulders with any great city in the world. Last year, the governor flagged off the construction of the first phase of the project, which covers 26 square kilometers. For more on this, we're now being joined by Professor Chidiebere Onyia, who is Secretary to Enugu State Government. Good day. Thank you so much for joining us on Newsday.
Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. Well, Professor, tell us a bit more about the new Enugu City. What does it stand for and how important is it to the people of Enugu State?
So, New Enugu City is part of the manifesto His Excellency Dr. Peter Mbah made to the people of Enugu State. And what this city is going to cognizance of is the original set out for the city, which is an ancestral city. It's most Enugu over.
All right,
within the state.
We'll have to halt this conversation and get our comms back in order, and we will be back after this short break. Please stay with us for this interview. Thank you for staying with us here on Newsday. And we are still with Professor Chidiebere Onyia, who is the Secretary to the Enugu State Government. Thank you so much for staying with us.
Thank you.
All right, so we were discussing Enugu, the new Enugu City. Can you tell us what type of a difference the government plans to make in the lives of Enugu citizens with this new endeavor?
So Enugu City, as it's currently structured, is an old city. It's over 100 years. And mostly what we've experienced, those people that live here and those that are coming in, is coming into an area where there has been some development, but not in a structured way to reflect the realities of today when it comes to living in a modern city. So what the governor has done in line with his manifesto and his promise, Dr. Peter Mbah has set out a structure where it's designed smart city is going to be part of his fulfillment of his promise to Enugu. That city is going to include recreational activities, a business cluster, and also will reflect all the modern amenities that you will need to live in a city that can compete favorably with the Dubai's and the other developing cities of the world. So in essence, there's going to be a 24/7 power supply. There's going to be water. There will also be a centralized processed waste management system that takes into consideration climate considerations. There's going to be other business opportunities for investment. So this city is being created by law, so it's not something that is being approached from a knee-jerk point of view. So the first phase is what His Excellency is pushing now, and as mentioned earlier, 26,000 square kilometers of development is what is going to come in this first phase. The whole new city is about 10,000 hectares, and the first part that has been worked on is 1,000 kilometers. That's what is being cleared now. But this will provide an opportunity to expand Enugu in a structured manner that takes into consideration the realities of today and also the future. So that's what this new city will incorporate. It's been an agency has been set up by this law to manage the processes within the city, and a special purpose vehicle is being designed also to drive the marketing and other investment opportunities to allow for transparency, accountability, and traceability, which are the key principles for this government in terms of the way we engage with the private sector and regular citizens.
Well, Professor, we know that oil earnings are no longer what it used to be. So how will the Enugu state government be able to fund such a massive project at a time like this?
So we believe strongly in working with private investors. That's why we set out a vehicle that will help in the marketing of this new city. And what that special purpose vehicle is going to do is drive the key areas that we need to expand. That's why we're starting with a phased approach. So it's not going to be solely government funded, but what you're seeing now is His Excellency is deployed the necessary financial support to be able to build the infrastructure around it, to set it out and also make it something that is attractive for potential investors. But it's not going to be state funds driving the whole process. What we're doing right now is setting out, using this world acclaimed construction firm, is to set out the structure of the city. In that way, it will be easier for this SPV that will be in charge of driving most of the marketing approach to be able to raise the necessary capital to be able to build the remaining part of the city. So it's a phased approach. It's not going to be something that we're going to use state funds to drive.
All right, thank you for that. And let's talk about the oil earnings. They are actually the new city developments around the world, since we've already gone over that. New city developments around the world involve the displacement of people, unfortunately, and also their businesses. How can the government set out plans for the compensation and possible relocation of those businesses and individuals?
So what we have done is that this has not just been a decision that's taken without partnership with the necessary communities that are involved. There's been several engagements. His Excellency, Dr. Peter Mba, is engaged with the communities and the community leaders over a period of time. Some of his team members that are part of the cabinet of Enugu State have also reached out and have had very constructive conversation with a majority of the communities. So what we have also done is set out an interministerial compensation committee that will be in charge of valuation and also compensation of this, the individuals are affected. A majority of those areas have been marked. We have not started work in those areas. We're still on the areas that are not inhabited right now. So what we're doing is, once they start the submission of the necessary documentation to this interministerial team, the methodology for calculating what each of these properties are valued as will be an engaging and collaborative process, but we're engaging them in a meaningful way to ensure that it is something that is collaboratory, not something that is a bit high-handed. That's why His Excellency is always at every point of the way ensuring that engagement is critical with those that are involved. And I can tell you that a majority of the individuals involved have been working very closely with government because they see the value this will bring to the state in general, but more important, to the areas where they will be relocated to. So part of what this is will also entail is that His Excellency set out also a design for infrastructure in the new area that these individuals will be relocated to. There will be sites and services like roads, smart schools, and also healthcare facilities to ensure that the quality of their life is taken into consideration. So it's a collaborative process, and we are very intentional about it. His Excellency is very clear on how that transition will occur.
Well, just as a follow-up, I'd like you to react to claims of demolitions and forceful ejections of some residents over the construction of this new Enugu city. We understand, that a bulldozer was attacked just recently due to this development. Can you react to that, please?
Yes, so, in every massive developmental effort, there will be a few outliers, a few individuals that may, because of personal considerations, ignore or negate to see the big picture of where we need to be going at as a state to be competitive in the global arena. So those few individuals have decided, because of personal interest, going out and selling land within the gazetted area, have engaged in activities that may cause some form of civil disturbance within the area that we are working. And in some instance, like you cited, they had decided to be violent in trying to slow down the processes. I can assure you that we were very intentional in marking out those areas, but those areas were not things that we marked out without a lot of constructive conversation between the residents, the leadership there, some of the critical stakeholders that are outside the particular residents but have interest in the well-being of Enugu State, to ensure that this was a partnership. So most of the people that are involved are people that have aligned to the vision of His Excellency for this new smart city, but a few people that have made a living out of land grabbing, made a living out of trying to sell properties within the gazetted area, are the ones that you see have decided to create a particular type of disturbance within the area. And we are going to allow the law to take its course in addressing this and not be deterred or lose focus within the timeline His Excellencies set out to Enugu to deliver the first phase of this project. So we are managing the situation in a very constructive way and allowing the law to take its full course. But generally, most of the people that are involved in the areas that we marked for demolition are people that we have engaged with. And I can assure you that even as at now, none of those areas have been demolished. But what people are trying to do is to be a bit disingenuous in their approach about sharing what is truly happening. I had gone there with some of the press when they saw that the first phase had no people, residents around there. It was just all in the bush area that we were clearing to be able to meet the first 1 hectare of land clearance leading up to the phase 1. So it's the stories that are out there in the public space are choreographed to be able to share a particular type of, elicit a particular type of sentiments without any empirical evidence. So what we've done is provide the evidence to debunk that, but in doing that, also staying focused and meeting the timeline that's been set out for this new Enugu Smart City.
Just before we let you go, Professor, we know that the project is being handled by some Chinese contractors, but are there any immediate economic benefits for the citizens?
Yes, there are. And you do know that the construction has different phases, and there are parts of the construction work that deals with local content, community members, people that have specialized skills that suit the skill set needed to deliver on specific projects within the new city are already being involved in the process. Remember, what we're doing now is the clearing. So we are working towards, as we phase out, people with specific skills are going to be involved, and these are Enugu State citizens. So there is a clear process that the integration of local content will lead to enhanced skill set for those that are involved in the process. So at the end of the day, even though they've contributed, they're also able to enhance their skills in understanding what it means to develop a new city from scratch and a new smart city that addresses what the global outlook will be for what a safe living, recreational, walking space could look like. That's what we're trying to do. So most people that are around are going to be involved in the project, not just the Chinese company that is doing most of the heavy lifting now.
Now, that's very good to hear. Professor Chidiebere Onyia, Secretary to the Enugu State Government, thank you so much for joining us on Newsday.